The Holy Gospel from Luke chapter 6. But to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your coat, do not withhold your shirt from them. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you'll be children of the Most High, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Do not judge, for you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure passed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. The Gospel of the Lord. May the Lord be with you today as we look at Luke chapter 6. May He open up your ears to hear and your mind to understand and your hearts to believe these words that He has for you and for me. If you watched the Super Bowl this year, I guess I'd be surprised if you made it through the whole thing. If you remember that game, it was kind of a blowout. It was pretty boring. But if you did make it through the whole thing, maybe it was because you were watching those Super Bowl commercials. You were hoping for a little chuckle, maybe something to make you think, or maybe even scratch your head. I read that each one of those slots, each 30-second slot, it cost $7 million for 30 seconds for a commercial. If you were somebody who was the director of one of those commercials, you better really hit it, right? You better really have something that's tight, that's all figured out, that your message gets across to make sure that you're not wasting those $7 million, right? There was one commercial that they ran both in the first half and in the second half, so two 30-second slots, $14 million. And here, I can kind of, if you didn't see it, I can kind of explain it to you a little bit. It featured two people. It featured Tom Brady, and it featured Snoop Dogg, if you guys know him, the rapper. Maybe you remember this commercial. What it was a close-up on each guy's face, and went back and forth, and each guy had this really angry look on his face, and he told the next guy all of the reasons why he hated him. I hate you because of this. I hate you because of that. I hate you because of this. I hate you because of that. I don't know if some of you remember these commercials. It was a little uncomfortable. It kind of took you aback. Oh my goodness, what in the world is going on here? And it got to the very end when Snoop Dogg, he said this at the very end. He said, I hate the fact that things have gotten so bad that we have to have a commercial about it. And then the words appeared on the screen. The reasons to hate sound as dumb as they actually are, or something like that. It was a commercial about reducing hate in the world. And on the face of it, you watch that and you say, okay, yeah, I'm all for that. I had a few thoughts about it, though. I was wondering if spending $14 million on those two commercials was really the right way to reduce hate in the world. And so I was curious, and I had to watch the commercial again and again and again. And so I went to YouTube, and I watched where it was reposted. And don't do this, but I scrolled to the comment section, and I read what people were saying about a commercial to reduce hate. It turns out, I guess, that there's a whole lot of reason to hate. Things like this: I can't believe these rich people would tell me that I'm so bad and hateful. Things like this: I can't believe they would spend so much money on a commercial when they could have done so many other things. Things like this: those people have some dark things in their past. How can they tell me not to hate? $14 million spent, and it kind of did the opposite. It gave people more reason to be a little bit angry. It's kind of like that experiment they did when they took some kids and they put a marshmallow in front of them, and they said, don't eat the marshmallow. And they had a camera on them, and they walked, and they just waited. until the kid looked, tried, and they really wanted to, and then finally they had to put it close and sniff it and finally eat just a little bit. It's so hard to stay away from the thing that people are telling you either to do or not to do. And the thing is, we don't really grow out of that. What if the coin was flipped and it was a different commercial, and instead it was somebody looking at you and saying this: love your enemy, do good to those who hate you, pray for those who mistreat you. If somebody takes from you and they're not going to give anything back, don't expect anything back and give to them. Come on, just treat others the way you want to be treated. What if that was the $14 million message? Kid, meet marshmallow. You'd hear a message like that and you'd say, I guess I'm supposed to do it, but that's hard. I guess I'm supposed to do it, but who's telling me to do this? I guess I'm supposed to do it, but can I really? Is it possible? Those people are so mean. It hurts to be hurt. And I'm supposed to love? I'm supposed to do good? That means being right there? How? Why? Can I really? The thing that was lacking in the $14 million commercial spots at the Super Bowl was a good reason why. Well, why? Something inside of us that's broken. Well, why should that change? How can that change? And the thing that would be missing in a sermon that just says, hey, go love, just go do it, would be a real reason why. Well, Jesus' sermon in Luke chapter 6, it actually gives us that. And so today that's what we're focused on. As we look at Luke chapter 6, he gives us one real good reason to do these things. He gives us the one real reason to love. He gives us the one thing that can actually change us, that can actually move us from a place that says, that's too hard, that's too difficult, that's too impossible, I want to do it my own way. He moves us to saying, okay, here is the one reason, the one way that I'm empowered to actually love as he commands. When Jesus is teaching in Luke chapter 6, it's famously called the Sermon on the Plain, on the flat place, because that's how Luke introduces it, that Jesus went to this flat place to preach to his disciples. In the other Gospels, it's called something different. It's called the Sermon on the Mount. That's how Matthew puts it, that he went up onto a mountainside and he's preaching to the people. If you've ever hiked a mountain before, you know that maybe if you're looking for a great lunch spot, you're not going to find a lunch spot that's like in the steepest area. You say, okay, you pick it out on a map, you say, okay, this looks like a nice flat place where we can kind of stop. So that's kind of what's going on here. Jesus is in this mountainous area, and there's a nice flat area where he goes. He's preaching the same sermon that he was preaching in Matthew, the Sermon on the Mount. It's just called by something else, the Sermon on the Plain. It's the same content. And in that sermon, Jesus was doing something really interesting. He was taking these common notions or common phrases that people had, that the Jewish people had, and turning them completely upside down. Here are two of them that he gave earlier on in the sermon. And if you can imagine him preaching it like this: blessed are you. Everybody could agree with that, right? Blessed are you. Oh, that sounds great. I'm ready to listen. Blessed are you when people hate you. Whoa! Now you'd have some attention. Blessed are you when people hate you, when they exclude you, when they insult you, when they reject your name as evil. And as you're listening to this, what in the world? And then he continues, and here's the hook: because of the Son of Man. Oh, okay. All right. I understand now. Blessed am I when, because of and for the sake of Jesus, things don't necessarily happen according to my plan, but I'm working according to my faith. Jesus had another way of preaching when he said this: woe to you. You'd say, oh no, woe to me. Why? Because I did something wrong, right? Woe to you when everyone speaks well of you. What? Isn't that what I want? Woe to you when everyone speaks well of you. And here's the reason: because that's how they treated their ancestors. That's how the ancestors treated the false prophets. Jesus is saying here, if you were to say the same things as a false prophet, to be just a people pleaser, say the things that itching ears want to hear, then everyone would speak well of you. Woe to you. Jesus had a way of preaching in the Sermon on the Mount, the Sermon on the Plain, in a way that took these phrases and was really turning people upside down in their thinking. They had to think about these things in a different way so that it could uncover something that was wrong in their hearts. It turns out, though, not everybody really liked that style. Somehow it put some people to sleep, or there were people who left, or people who just weren't listening anymore. At the beginning of Luke 6, the part that we have for today in this part of Jesus' sermon, he said this, well, to you who are listening. Some of them were still there, and some of them were still listening to him. He said another phrase that really turns things on its head. He says, but to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies. And as a Christian, you look at that and you say, well, I mean, what's so controversial about that? Yeah, I think I understand that. I'm supposed to love my enemies. That's what I'm supposed to do. I get that. For the people that Jesus was teaching to, there was a common phrase that they would have known. It came from Plato's Republic. It's this Greek work. And there's a character in there who he thought that this was justice. His name was Polemarchus. He said, I considered it established that one should do harm to one's enemies and be of service to one's friends. And in Plato's Republic, this sense of justice gets all turned around, and no, this isn't the right way to think. But this was certainly the way many people were thinking at Jesus' day, and I would argue this is the way we think too, to harm one's enemies and be of service to one's friends. I mean, it happens all the time. Oh, she made me feel bad, so I'm going to keep her at arm's length. Oh, he cut me off in traffic. Oh yeah, you can come in. You look like you're kind of a nice person. It happens all of the time. I'm just going to sleep like this and she can be over there because, well, I'm a little bit angry at the things she said to me today. It happens all the time. I don't think I need to say good morning, good night, I love you. It happens all the time where somebody hurts you and so you withhold love. Sound a little bit like Polemarchus? This idea that that is justice. They hurt me, so I'm going to either hurt them or withhold love from them. So when Jesus says, I tell you, love your enemies, it is a phrase where he's turning us on our heads so that we think about the areas in our life where we're withholding love or actually being the one who's the enemy. When Jesus says love your enemies, though, he's got to say, well, I've got to get you to think about this in more than one way. He actually gives 8 different ways for us to think about it so that we can't let ourselves off the hook at all. Of course, he said, love your enemies, but then he went on and he said, so do good to those who hate you. You know what he's doing here? He's closing the door on this mentality that you could love your enemy from far away. If you got to do good to those who hate you, you've actually got to be in front of them. You've got to do something. You've got to send a letter. You've got to pick up the phone call. You have to speak. And he goes on and dives more into that last idea a little bit more. He said, so bless those who curse you. You think of a blessing here at church right at the end when the pastor says, the Lord bless you and keep you, but maybe a little bit more of a common blessing that you give to people each and every day are simply words like this. Hey, good morning. How are you? Have a great day. He's shutting the door on the idea that you could love an enemy from afar. You have to be so close that you don't just do good, but you could also bless them with your words of peace and grace. Jesus goes on, he says, it's not just blessing, it's not just doing good, it's also praying for those who mistreat you. I wonder if your prayer life is kind of like mine. You pray things like this. Dear Lord, I pray that you keep my family safe and in the faith. I pray that you give me these things that I think I kind of need. I pray that you'd be with these other people who, they're going through some troubles. They need some physical help. But what about praying for the people who mistreat you? Praying for the people in power you don't like? Praying for the one who speaks ill of you? Is that part of your prayer? Jesus continues and he says, it's more than just praying, it's more than just blessing, it's more than just doing good, it's turning the other cheek. This one this one gets parroted all of the time. It's one of the famous sayings of Jesus. If someone hits you in the face, hey, just turn the other cheek. Oh, they've harmed you, just turn the other cheek. The way that Jesus said this, it's even stronger than that. What he said is something along the lines of this. If someone strikes you in the face so as to wound you, present to them the other side. So like if somebody comes up with their words and actions and puts on the brass knuckles and throws a haymaker right to your jaw that slices open your cheek and breaks your jaw, you say, okay, here's the other side. Let me see the other fist. How could you ever live a life like that, never seeking retribution? Jesus goes on, give to the one who asks, and he adds on, don't ask for anything back. So as the person who comes who needs, and they say, I need, you're not supposed to ask, do you really? Are you sure you're going to use this for the right thing? Are you just going to squander it away? Are you just going to go buy something that you shouldn't be buying? Just give without asking. And finally, Jesus wraps it all up with the golden rule, as we all know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And sometimes we take that phrase and say, okay, that means that I can kind of define how I should treat people, because if I'm pretty tough and I can take it, and people can kind of speak ill to me, then I can give it right back to them. Because, it's not that big of a deal for me if somebody harms me, so I'm being treated the way I want to be treated. I don't think it's a coincidence that it comes at the very end, where Jesus says, here are all of the things that you should be and the way you should be treated, because wouldn't you want to be treated that way if you were the culprit? Wouldn't you want someone else to pray for you if you were the one mistreating them? Wouldn't you want someone else to do good for you if you were the one who was harming them? God forbid that were to be us, but you would want that grace and forgiveness. Jesus says, treat others in that way. You get to the end of this 8 statements, and I can kind of just see it on your shoulders. You're like, this is what I'm supposed to be? This is what I'm supposed to do? How? Why? I can't do that. Am I even a Christian? If that's what a Christian is supposed to do. Jesus doesn't give us a $14 million commercial spot and leave us hanging. He says, here is the one reason to love. A little bit later on in the section, he says, this is why you and I can be called children of the Most High, because he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful just as your Father is merciful. And now we get to think a little bit about how Jesus fulfilled those words. I was wondering this week, I wonder how this went within the Trinity somehow, when God the Father knew that he had to send God the Son into the world. What kind of a conversation was that? Something where God the Father said to Jesus, hey, you're going to go to your enemies. You're going to go to these people who are going to mistreat you. You're going to go to these people who are going to wound you on the face, and I want you to turn the other cheek. You're going to go to these people who are going to hate you and speak poorly of you. You're going to go to these people who are going to do the wrong thing again and again and again and again. They're going to serve themselves, and when you come, they're going to spit on you and beat you and hang you on a cross. And as Jesus took all of those commands, 8 plus more, and he put them on the shoulders of Jesus, and he looked at him, I don't think Jesus' shoulders looked heavy. He was able to say, okay, Dad, I'll do it. I'm going to go into this world to my enemies, and I'm going to let them do their worst, and I'm still going to pray for them. I'm still going to forgive them. I'm still going to live for them. Because that's what we see in our Savior, who loved you and me when we were ungrateful and doing the wicked thing. He prayed for you from the cross. He prayed, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. He prayed for you in his high priestly prayer. He said, Father, I pray that they would be one as you and I are one. He died for you. And when he did, something amazing happened. All of the credit for his perfect love became yours. All of the credit for his perfect way of living became yours. That means when God looks at you, that's what he sees. He sees the way Jesus loved his enemies. The first time you do something, you come with that phrase from the children's lesson, I can't do it. The second time you do it, it's a little bit easier. Because God looks at you with Christ's life and the things he did, it's as if you've already done them one time already. That person who's hard to love, you've already loved them because Jesus loved them. So you can love them the second time. That time when it's hard to bless, you've already blessed them because Jesus blessed them. So it's a little bit easier the second time. That person who's hard to forgive, even if it's yourself, you've already forgiven yourself because Jesus has already forgiven you. It sounds odd to say, but this is how God sees you, as if it's already all done, all accomplished. This is the one reason that we have to love, because Christ already did it, and God sees you that way. One reason to love. $14 million plus, not wasted. Amen.